Your gift of vision is not meant to imprison you. I feel like I have to say that again because I want to cry. Your gift is not meant to imprison you. You are not handcuffed to every gorgeous thing you see. Let it help you to feel free. When I feel this pressure, when I feel like so engulfed, I put my camera down.
Help Me See is a podcast that redefines the word vision through vulnerable and real conversations, my own private introspective ramblings about the things that I think about in the wee hours of the morning, and my deep core belief that your nothingness is your everything, and all you have to do is see. I'm Bianca Mora. I'm your host. I am an educator, a photographic artist, and I believe that your daily photo habit can be the key to unlocking the ability to be more present in your everyday life and live deeper into your intention and purpose. We're not about the small talk here. Grab your coffee, get cozy, and let's talk.
All right, so I'm having one of those days where I just feel like I'm in a permanent state of about to burst out crying. And something that's been weighing on my mind is this idea that just because we can see and have a knowing over the beauty and the complexities and the impermanence, and we have this like gorgeous awareness of everything that's in front of us, it doesn't mean that we're beholden to acting on it every single time or processing it deeply and thoughtfully every single time. I think that's a part of the problem when I feel like oftentimes we can talk about and blanket things as being a perfectionist or, taking it too seriously or, but it's definitely more than that. And I'm talking about the way we move through life, the way we create our art, our work, the things we choose to do and not do. I think a lot of it has to do with when something is important to you. Here, I'll speak in terms of myself. When something is really important to me, I do two things. I either drop everything I'm doing and consume myself with it and cannot focus on anything else. And that's what I'm hyper focused on. Or because there's too much going on and I can't solely focus on that, it's so important to me that I put it off to the side, and delay because it's overwhelming. I can go too deep with it and I don't feel like I have the proper time and space and bandwidth, emotional bandwidth and time bandwidth to go as deep as I want to on a given subject or, piece of art or whatever it is. And this can look in like many different things. Oftentimes for me, if I'm going to talk about outside of the creation mode of my art, I experience this with responding to praise or thanks or something positive about myself or about the work I create. Sometimes it feels so tender to me, like it means so much to me that it feels like impossible to say anything back that really accurately communicates like how important it is to me. And it feels daunting and it feels it feels almost pointless sometimes. It's really, really strange. So then I can go into the cycle of postponing acting on something because I really want to marinate on it. And obviously that can have different, just not acting like that, but going about that route of action can cause feelings of guilt and pressure and anxiety of like wanting to move with it, but feeling paralyzed by it. And then, who knows what the perception is on that. But really, if we're being honest, that's none of our business. Like if we have too much to worry about than to worry about what other people are thinking and, what stories they're making up about us. But anyway, point being, back to the subject at hand. Well, we are at the subject at hand, but oh my gosh, can you just hear my voice? I'm having one of those days. I really want to speak to the idea that it feels like a very beautiful and heavy responsibility to have the gift of this acute vision, this vision where we can see a moment and feel like we can see 47 layers of what it means and how it feels and what it means in 50 years and what it meant 2 years ago. And it's all swirling around your brain as you're looking at your child take a shit. I don't know, it's like, it's so nuts. It's so nuts. And it's a beautiful gift, but I want to just say, I don't have a fix for it. I don't have a solve. I just want to offer some relief and some support over the idea that I see that, and I see you seeing that. And it also doesn't mean that you have to do anything about it. A long time ago, like last year, I remember giving this example because I felt it so hard in the moment. There are times where I can see a beautiful thing happening and know that I quote unquote should be present for that, like my kids taking a bath. But I also feel exhausted by it, and I want to remove myself from the moment, and I don't want to have to do anything about it. And I think that that is 100% just as valid, because that's being present for yourself. We obviously can't create when we're so drained that there's nothing to give. So I don't know, I have kind of a controversial viewpoint on this. I know that there's a lot of talk about discipline and showing up for your craft. And if you wait until you're inspired every single time, then, X, Y, Z. And I totally get that and I respect that. But I think you have to be aware of how you function and how you feel and be really connected to your emotional capacity with this work, the work of being a photographic artist, and not just a photographic artist, anyone that associates with being able to see to the point where they feel almost sick by it. I remember the first time I visited California, we were driving from Southern California to Northern California, and I was so absolutely awestruck. I mean, I had never seen anything like it. I grew up in Florida. It's flat. And I never realized how unhappy I was in my surroundings. And I was like, we were stopping every, I don't even know, 20 minutes and like taking pictures. And my mouth was on the floor. But then I get to the point where my partner would be like, hey, look at that. And I was like almost with my head and my knees up. Maybe it was a little bit of car sickness, but I was like, I can't look at anything else. I'm so exhausted by the beauty. Like I feel physically like done. It's too much of a good thing. I just can't even register it. And sometimes I can feel that when I'm looking at my kids, or if I read something or I see a photograph someone took that hits me so intensely that I don't even want to look at it anymore. It's like I can't bear it. Can you relate to this? For the love of everything in the universe, if you do, can you message me and tell me about it? Because sometimes I feel like I talk about this and there's blank looks on faces, and I would love to know. I know I'm not the only one. I know this for damn sure. And I also don't have anyone immediately close to me that relates. So I just want to give space for that in this. I want to give space for this idea that your gift of vision is not meant to imprison you. I feel like I have to say that again because I want to cry again. Your gift is not meant to imprison you. You are not handcuffed to every gorgeous thing you see. Let it help you to feel free. When I feel this pressure, when I feel like so engulfed, I put my camera down. Unless I'm in a session, I give myself a break. I go a long time without photographing my family or my life with my regular, like with my actual camera. I'll still do it with my phone because there's a freedom and there's a lightness that I experience when I photograph my life with my phone. It feels less pressury to me in a way. So that's just how I move with my photographic practice. And I invite you to explore that because if that's not something that you've done, our phones now they're so great as well that, if I take a picture with my phone that I really deeply, really love, and it's an outlier, I'll go ahead and send it to my computer, and then I'll edit it in my editing software as well and just further push it to look like how my soul wants it to look. But I digress. So this permission to pause and this permission to help your nervous system and your brain and your heart understand what it's like to be able to see something that's important and beautiful and let it go when you're not in the space to do something with it, to create with it, to keep it. Because isn't the fact that you're understanding and seeing how beautiful it is and acutely aware of the impermanence of it, doesn't that in that same breath also mean that we must find and be at peace with letting it go? And much to our what's the word? Much to our devastation. Sometimes that means we do not have photographic evidence of it. But I also think that those moments are really important. And I don't think that they're in vain, obviously. I think that, or maybe not obviously, even if we're in danger of forgetting, I think those moments that get to us and sink into our knowing and understanding of having just witnessed something beautiful, it stays in our DNA almost. I feel like your vision, your brain, your body will recognize the next time it's in a moment similar to that because we recognize patterns, right? Like neurologically, we're always in a loop of some sort, right? So like the more we're conscious of those moments, the more we'll see them, regardless of having a camera in your hand or not. Something I talk about in my course, Manifest Your Memories, it's basically about this, what we're talking about, this idea of being able to more consciously see and understand your relationship with your photo taking and the role it plays in seeing the life you're meant for. There's like an exercise, there's a couple exercises in being able to see your nostalgia now, like ways to process being in a moment and being able to apply this like hindsight view of it, of time traveling in a second, like 50 years from now, and being able to see it in that light while you're in that moment. And it's kind of what happens to me now, fluidly and very naturally, almost like a second hand, just throughout my day. Like there are times where I feel like I wish I could just like blink or snap or like, twitch my nose like Bewitched. Have you ever seen Bewitched? I don't know. I used to watch shows that no one else in my age group watched because I have older parents. And be able to like imprint that and get that photograph. But even if I don't get the photograph, I trust that I'm not only seeing, but I'm feeling and experiencing more of the life I'm meant to live. And it's all a result of my photographic practice, honestly, whether or not my camera or my phone is present. And that's a really beautiful thing. So, with this conversation, with this idea of being exhausted by your gift, by the beauty of the world, by the complexities that you're able to understand in any given moment of a day, I hope that you can find a sense of peace and calm and freedom and ease in just the permission in knowing that you are not responsible to do anything with the moment that you're seeing. You are not handcuffed to your craft. You're not handcuffed to your gift. You really do get to just enjoy it. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is see. And if you don't want to do that, maybe close your eyes. But knowing you, knowing me, probably just think about it. Oh my gosh. I am obviously in the car. I'm sure you've heard car noise. I had to go pick up a prescription for my son who has a double ear infection. Had absolutely no idea. He's acting totally like himself, just a little bit congested. So that has been an eventful morning. I honestly just felt so depleted in every way today that I went into my basement to just edit pictures from a recent newborn session that I did. And I found myself thinking about this again. Like I was thinking about this morning before my day started, before I went to the doctor's appointment. And then even after, because when I was editing the photos, I also found myself wandering into like, I love the photos I took at the session so much. And I'm seeing through the editing process so many more moments and so much, ways I could have pushed it, like visually in the pictures I took, and also just such happy, quote unquote, accidents. I don't know that anything's really an accident, but, and then I just stopped. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, this is exactly the pictures that I was meant to have taken at this moment. And the fact that I'm seeing these images in a different light is not only a gift and something that I could also portray through the editing process, but something that I will take with me on the next shoot. I know with every single shoot any one of us does, whether it's a professional shoot or photographs you're just taking in your day-to-day life as you recognize different things that come up, you're forever changed. The learnings, the experience, the emotional processing of each experience impacts every photo you take going forward. And I just hope we can all find rest and ease and love, comforting love in knowing that this is just a compounding practice. This is a compounding gift. This is a compounding life, and every single square inch of it is giving us something. Love it, hate it, indifferent. All right. Until next time. Oh, wait. What am I saying? I am going to schedule our kind of Happy New Year 2023 Help Me See Visioning workshop pretty soon. So if you want to be involved in that, it is a free workshop where we're going to be talking about basically this in a different way, in more of a, dreaming into what is it that you want to see in the 2023 year. So less about, what are the goals? What do you want to do and get done? And what's your word? I mean, I don't have anything against any of that. I find I get energized by that sometimes, sometimes a lot, sometimes not at all. But that's not what this visioning workshop is about. This is about just taking a moment to pause, breathe, find excitement in the fact that your camera or your phone camera is something that is going to help you see more of the life you want to see throughout this year, and taking a pause and considering what it is that you want to see, and kind of turn on your brain's impulse to start searching for those things in the background. So check out the show notes link and sign up if you want to hop on a Zoom with me and talk through all of that magical goodness. I will also be letting you know about my programs opening up for this year if you want to work more closely and intimately on your craft, your vision, whatever is calling to you in this season. I'll give you more info there as well. Okay. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your week, and I will catch you next week. Catch you next week. Catch you next week.